And here come the Bruins. football team would like to thank QCC for supplying food to the student tonight. Thank you.
No, it does. Measure starts with it. Just kidding.
As we start the second half, strong and really good football player. They have
Number 85, Tyler Dvorak to kick for the Bruins. Number 1, Jawan Lepore, and number 5, Jaheem Roper back to return.
I think we need to look for consistency here. They've had a great couple of games when you the games by large margin. I think you can check more momentum in this
purchase to it seems like everything we got to return that interception. So really,
what are you thinking with Miles today? Interception? Maybe a run back? Or a big six?
Hey, Stephon coming right to you, Arden. Stephon right here.
Number 25, Stephon Fly on the carry. Bring out second and 11 to the Trailblazers.
Let's go. Watch the ball.
Second
Number 25, Stephon Fly on the carry. Dennis Cruz. Bringing up third down and 8.
See how that works for them with the strong defensive line that we had.
Off on the ball. First down. Screen got.
first conversion. As he is going to drop back in the pocket to close. He's going to let it go. And it's intercepted.
Number 5, James Walker II.
7-0.
Followed by number 9, Kamala Jenkins. There was a second and 4.
Whatever his house. Second.
Oh yeah, she told me
In the backfield.
Pass complete to number 6, Chase Henry.
It's good for check. Cherry Creek hasn't done most of the season. They relied on the run game, but his completion percentage right around 67%, and he's averaging 206 yards per game. Pretty decent numbers there for Julian Hammond. He's going to go to the pass this time. Look to his left. Allen's way high.
It's a little risky throw there, Ben, but I think we're going to see that a lot more tonight just through sheer height advantage.
6'1", Chase Henry. It doesn't look like that Overland quarterback's can really match them height-wise. It's just him just throwing up all day.
James Walker was the intended receiver there. We just think that we're going to see more of that. We've seen more of the same as the run game. We're going to see more of the pass game like we did last week. Right side.
Number 5, James Walker the second. Bobby Brooks for the Cherokee first down.
Let's go, boys.
Eyes, Joey, eyes.
Trying to make it 6 in a row tonight. They've been nearly perfect in all those tournaments. Really big it down.
Number 1, Julian Hammond, pass is complete to number 5, James Walker the second. For Cherokee first down.
And the Bruins are the away team here at their home stadium tonight. Pretty packed house here on the away side, the west side of Stutler Bowl. As we have 8:40 left in the first, the Bruins have 1st and 10. The ball is on the 10, so it will be 1st and goal. He's going to roll out to his right and into the end zone for Jaylee Stacks. So the Bruins will score their first touchdown of the game. So a little bit of a rollout there.
Number 5, Tyler on the spin drive.
Keep it or not. For Overland, much of the beginning can determine the end. So,
and on the extra point, a false start assessed to the Bruins. So they're gonna move the try.
Walk it in!
Kick is up and good. It's been perfect all season. 8:30 left first.
Cherokee lead 7-0.
Because I realized that when penalty flag comes up, it's yellow, so that doesn't work.
Number 85, Tyler Dvorak to kick. Number 5, Jaheim Roper, and number 1, Jawan McCoy back to the Blazers. The ball was in the zone, bringing it out to the 20.
Pretty strict drive there for the Bruins. We talked earlier about the run game, kind of not going to go against the CCSN. It looked like they gave him a little freedom to choose their quarterback, and let it fly a little bit. worked out in the end. Again, sort of touchdown.
What up, Bert? Bert? 21 personnel, 20 personnel.
Trips over.
First down.
Quarterback tonight is Mark.
Passing complete, number 17, Mark Dole.
Yeah, we got to mix up top. Hey, we got to squeeze up front. Squeeze up front. Come your way, Marcus.
He's throwing for
Run by number 5, Jaheem Wilkie. Loss of 4 on the play.
also as well.
Absolutely. What is
That's what we needed, boys.
Sack by number 99, Brandon Jackson. Back to punt conversion, number 24, Tamari Brown. Back to receiver, number 3, Miles
Let's go, let's go! Squeeze out! Go get it!
Ball is recovered by Cruz.
Punter
Number 2, Jahir Stacks for the touchdown.
and the Bruins are in for another score there.
Number 85, Tyler Dvorak, also attempt to try.
And another Bruins extra point is up and good, 14-0.
I'm buying donuts.
Less than halfway through the first. Chance, you'd like to elaborate on that donut statement?
We made a little friendly bargain before this game, over under 25 points. I put under, and going at this rate, scoring 2 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes, I'm obviously going to lose this bet.
So the margin's already 14. Overland has pretty much 2 turnovers. An interception and the fumbled punt.
Number 1, Jawan McCoy, and number 5, Jaheem Roper, back to the field for his 12 game.
So it's starting to look a little bit like last week at the Chaparral game, where it was 49-0 at the half there at Echo Park Stadium. As that kick is received at the 3. Trying to make a move at the 15 as he done. Finds a little bit of the hole to cross the 20 as there are flags down.
This one might be holding on Overland, and yes, it is.
So they will back this one up.
During the return, block in the back, number 23 on the return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
And this is a reality that has permeated every game this season. Cherry Creek, in addition to being able to capitalize on their drives, has just had shorter drives than the other team. And Overland here's got to go 90-plus yards. They've had to go 75. They've had to go 75. And Creek's had to go some 50 yards for their first drive and some 10 for the next. It's not a fair fight for Overland if they're going to keep putting themselves in these long drive positions.
She's going to pass again over the middle, and that one can't be hauled in. It's incomplete.
Broken up by the physicality of this defensive, of these defensive backs that we've seen so much out of this year.
So Overland's going to call their first timeout of the half, as I just think they need some time to regroup as they are just inside 7 minutes here in the first.
Overland's running, again, I'm going to talk about this trip set, which only allows the 5 linemen to be on the line at a time, which is really tough for them because with our 4 huge defensive linemen, it's hard for them to, keep time for the quarterback to throw. As we saw there, the quarterback only got around 2 seconds to get that ball off.
Yeah, the Cherry Creek O-linemen, the Overland O-linemen are no bigger than I am, and I am the sports broadcaster. I am not big, I'm not big at all.
So they're going to come back out, try this thing again. They're spotted right around their 10. They might be just inside of it. Probably closer to the 5 almost. It's another high snap in the play action pass. Trying to find some space, and he's tackled down at the 1. Creek bench looking for a safety, but I think he's just outside of the end zone. And now the signal for a safety comes, so it's going to be the first Cherry Creek safety that we've seen all season. And it's 16-0. So Overland drives, interception, dropped punt, and now a safety. Can it get much worse than that?
Absolutely not here. Not even 6 minutes into this first quarter. Seems the O lineman can just not hold or keep any containment on our defensive linemen. Arden Walker making it look easy on that outside.
So the Blazers are going to have to kick from their 15.
Safety punt, yep.
Yeah, safety punt. They're going to have another short drive here.
And again, Overland does not have a set punter on their roster, which again, this is another tough situation.
So that one's taken in and brought to the 40. I believe James Walker on that return.
In all, Cherry Creek has had a total distance on their drives of less than 100 yards, and yet they're up 16-0.
So another offensive drive for the Bruins on the Overland side of the field. This one will be taken over at the 40.
Single back formation for the Bruins.
Timeout. Cherry
And
Creek.
Coach Logan sees something that he doesn't like, and he'll call his first timeout of the half. Don't know what he couldn't like, though, because it's 16-0.
He's probably feeling pretty secure at this point.
Who knows, maybe trying something new here.
So 6:37 left here in the first. The Bruins have the ball on the 40 after the safety punt. Hammond going to go into the air, over the middle. Orlando, the intended receivers, incomplete.
Number 9, Kamari Hampton on the defense.
Second and 10 now for the Bruins. Play action pass. Hammond gonna try to escape the pocket after there's 4 Trailblazers that get to him at once, flagged down in the backfield.
Quarterback set by number 61, Jalen Fritz, flag on the play.
The Blazers there are going to use their small size to be nimble and weave around these big, clunky Creek offensive linemen and get Hammond with that sack.
Still second down.
And there's going to be a 10-yard foul penalty on Cherry Creek that's going to bring them back to, I believe, 2nd and 22.
He's going to look to his right. The Bruins are going to get that distance back for the penalty and more. It's Jaylee Stacks all the way for the score.
And that's going to be Air Force recruit Jaylee Stacks, one of the best guys on this Cherry Creek football team with 2 touchdowns tonight. Both check down passes, screen passes from Julian Hammond. He really likes to see it.
Number 85, Tyler Dvorak on the kick. That is good.
So this is going to be the best start for Creek this season. Just 6 minutes into the game, they're already up by a factor of 23. Chance, you are definitely bringing donuts.
Absolutely. It was not the best decision on my part. I thought Overland could hold their own just a little bit more than this. But, you know, we still have 3.5 more quarters to go here, even though it is 23-0. It's okay.
In the Cherry Creek student section, counting and doing leg kicks until they get to 23.
I believe the Palms will be doing a lot of leg kicks tonight.
We're still less than halfway through the first quarter. It's 23-0.
The kicker's getting the most action here tonight. Already kicked, what, 3 times now?
Oh, yeah, all of them through the end zone.
Yep.
3 kickoffs, 3 extra points.
No, it's unlikely that happens, but the Bruins are on pace to score right around 200 points tonight. Not going to happen.
Wouldn't that be something?
The Blazers take over once again at their 20. Another high snap to thrower. He's going to put it across the middle.
Again, 5 Bruins around the quarterback there. Nowhere to throw, nowhere to run.
And that's something that Thrower struggled with. Overland quarterback Thrower is his last name, ironically, has struggled with
Pretty cool.
tonight. Just getting some good looks. And frankly, he just doesn't have the time. His O-line isn't giving him the time.
It's not even his fault either. It's the fact that he doesn't have not even giving the opportunity to get a good throw off.
So that pass from thrower thrown away incomplete.
Yeah, going back to that, getting a good look is very much a challenge for even players in the NFL. Professional quarterbacks, everybody except for Tom Brady has a hard time with it. So absolutely makes sense that Thrower is struggling a bit right now.
The pocket's collapsing once again. Thrower's going to have to try to escape, get to the outside, and get in front of the line of scrimmage as he tries. Gets a gain, but it will set up 4th down once again.
Turnover on downs is definitely better than turnover on possession, though.
Brings up 4th and 3. Pass to number 1, Julian Hammond III. Completed to number 5, James Walker II. Brought down by number 5, Jaheim.
I'll see.
And so that play we saw there, check down pass rolling to his right, something we've seen a lot so far from Creek. Very successful. This time to last time to James Walker.
So inside the 20, another trip to the red zone. Hammond looks to his right and finds, so I believe is Stacks.
I think that's going to be
Orlando.
Dante Orlando.
Dante Orlando.
And Overland will call yet another timeout.
Timeout. Overland.
So Overland with 1 timeout remaining. Not even 8 minutes into the game.
Are we going to see running clock here in the first quarter?
It's quite possible.
You know, I'd have to check the CHASA rules, but I believe a running clock requires
Is it 30? Is it 40?
44?
I think it's 40,
40?
somewhere in that area.
So we're going to need a couple more touchdowns out of Creek, it seems, but
I don't know if they can do that.
are you joking?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Creek, first and goal here from the 4.5. This is going to be bad coverage by number 22 from Overland.
And it will be another passing touchdown for Julian Hammond.
QBR is currently skyrocketing.
Still not as good as Jaylee Stack's QBR last game. I believe he only threw one pass the entire game and
completed it.
Very successful, so he's got a perfect passer rating at the moment. On the Overland sideline, the Overland players are really starting to show some anger here.
Kick is good.
And the extra point up being good, so it's 30-0, and 30 honestly could look like a regular football score with some touchdowns and field goals, but it's the safety that puts the Bruins at 30.
30 rarely looks like a regular touchdown score less than 8 minutes into the game, though.
Back to return for the Blazers, number 5, Jaheim Roper, and number 1, Juwan McClure. Number 85, Tyler DeVorak, to kick for the Bruins.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything about it, but you know, since being my first broadcast, we are in fact winning this game.
So Chance Hausman looking like he's getting advanced to 1-0 as a football commentator.
Might have to leave it that way then.
Chance, what's the field hockey's team's record as you go to broadcast?
1-0.
And how about volleyball?
I'm gonna go with 0-2 on volleyball.
Oh yikes! You hate to hear
They
it.
don't like me as much over there. Now field hockey and football,
Undefeated.
absolutely.
And the Palms again.
Lots of leg kicks. Tonight,
Yeah,
as I
they
said
got a
earlier.
kick line going. Counting to 30.
You know what's bad when they get to the high numbers and they just get to a number like 50, they just go 5-0, we're done.
Yep, they're gonna start stopping here soon.
Overland again with a long drive here.
But their band is fantastic, as we've seen.
Band's certainly been producing some
Great
beats that we
spirit.
can appreciate.
Last and last. Bring up 2nd and 11 to the Blazers.
So 3-0 as thrower and the Trailblazers take over again. Pocket collapses and a big sack there by the Bruins.
And so, as Chance pointed out, this is a running clock. Ordinarily, on a sack, you would stop the clock, but clock operators kept it going, and the play clock's at 40. And
Maybe it's a certain point in the, because I'm pretty sure it is 40. But maybe since they've already scored 30 in the first quarter.
Yeah, maybe it's something per quarter. Something like that.
Looks like Creek doesn't even have their first line of defense in here.
oh no, they absolutely do not.
They already have their second line of defense in, and they are still doing them. And they are not going anywhere with Creek's second line of defense in. Sitting the starters a little over halfway in the first quarter.
Tonight might just be the night we see guys of the likes of Tyler Tolbert, of course, the sophomore defensive back, or is he a safety?
Yeah, he's a defensive back.
We'll go D-back.
The sophomore back and maybe even the JV quarterback, Cooper Katsky, as he hasn't gotten any time. Of course, both those guys have dressed out for all the games, but
You know, maybe even a random fan then.
Chance Hausman, I think that had to be a 50-yard punt that he had before pregame.
Absolutely. We might see the coaches go through the fan section here soon and ask people to raise their hands if they would like to play.
As Purchase muffs it. We haven't seen that. We might have seen it
Got a
once or
little ahead of
twice, but
himself.
Yeah, Purchase there is going to be hit before the play. Sorry, before he has a chance to field it, which I do not believe is illegal, but
It's not illegal, but when you're up 30, I don't think.
Just trying to get out of here with the win.
and when you're miles purchase, I mean,
The guy, yeah, he can do whatever you want when you're averaging more interceptions than one should.
and I think we may be receiving word here that the varsity holder, the starting holder Shreya Sriram, is going in to play quarterback. Bruins.
Are you? Oh my goodness! They put in the holder before they put in Cooper Katsky.
Hammond is still in.
Oh, it's Hammond.
Hammond is still in.
It's Hammond. I don't know what you're looking at, but it was Hammond.
My apologies
Julian's
there.
only thrown about 6 times tonight. So give him a couple more reps.
If you put in the holder before you put in any backup quarterback.
Well, the holder, he's got nice hands. He's got all that practice catching the football and putting it down for the.
Is he the emergency quarterback?
Probably.
Well, I think around halftime here, Ben, I'm going to go walk down and ask the coach if he wants me to play a little bit. I mean, I'd be willing to suit up.
Chance, what is your football background for those at home?
Absolutely nothing besides middle school football, Ben.
What position did you play?
Free safety and wide receiver.
He has hands, folks. As that pass across the middle.
Oh, keep running, Gunner.
To Gunnar Helm.
It's going to take 3 Overland D-backs to get down 6'6" Gunnar Helm. Man, I'll tell you, walking past him in the halls, it's just like different human beings. Colossal.
Chance, what can you say about Gunnar Helm's athleticism?
You know, it's there sometimes. That's a joke. I love Gunnar. I know him really well. He's a great player. He really does everything 100%. And as you said, walking through the hallways, he's not as he's a little bit. I'm a pretty tall guy, so he's not as tall or as massive as my fellow commentator has said, but he's athletic, you could say.
Ooh. That's going to be the first turnover for Overland.
My goodness,
they intercept that. Terrible look, but there's going to be a flag on that play. Oh, players are getting after it. Okay, wow.
Got some extracurriculars coming on the other side.
Yeah. Here, all I would do is point at the scoreboard as they're so close to it. I would not get into any of that because Overland is in fact down by 30 in the first quarter. That is that's scoring 120 points going at this rate.
And I think the Creek offense is still on the field, and the Overland defense, Overland
it's
offense
okay
doesn't seem to be going on.
because this penalty, if it's on Overland, will push them back. Oh.
So there's going to be some.
Half the distance to the goal, which is going to put Creek again up for their second safety of the season, possibly.
I mean, you can't do that if you're Overland. You can't be getting.
Absolutely not. That's just sheer anger there.
Yeah. Clock stop for that one, though. And Creek's defense is going to be in. Yep. So turnover on downs. Referees still seem to be deliberating, but
looks like our starting D will be back in too.
Yeah.
See Gus Zelinkis in there in the huddles. He's
Walker.
Yeah. So there are definitely some starters left.
We have 2 fouls on the play. After the play, personal foul. Number 9 on the defense. Number 9 is ejected.
Oh my.
So, wow.
Personal foul on the offense. Number 5. Those penalties will be assessed in the order.
So number 9 ejected for Overland.
Number 5, James Walker gets the personal foul.
So number 9 is going to be the guy who gets the interception there. And then after the play, it looks like there was a bit of
that would be Hampton,
combat.
the linebacker.
Yeah, Hampton, the linebacker. He's going to be ejected. And number 5 on Creek, James Walker, is also going to have a personal foul called on him.
Now, if they're ejected, are they required to leave the stadium?
It's unclear. The refs are now speaking with the Overland head coach.
And that is Hammonds. That will be his 4th interception of the game if it is indeed ruled that way as it is.
Sorry,
the
of the
defense
season.
on the field. Yeah, 4th, excuse me, of the season.
First of the game.
So for those of you at home, if you need something to watch, check out Bruins Take, the new show from the Cherry Creek Sports Network. That is on our YouTube page. It's also on Spotify. Chet Hausman, myself, and Libby Schweitzer on that show. Great panel. So if you need something to watch later or on this fine weekend,
Or listen to.
or listen to on Spotify, those links, you can watch it on YouTube or listen to it as a podcast on Spotify. Link should be all over our social media. But yeah, check out Bruins Take. Great show.
And Ben, when will your next episode be? Do you know yet?
Bruins Take is a weekly show. We film them on Wednesdays, edit them on Thursdays, and upload them Friday at 4 o'clock. It's going to be our official release time. But let me tell you, Spotify usually goes up a little bit earlier. That Spotify was probably up Thursday afternoon. But if you're dying to listen to Bruins Take, get the inside news on all things Cherry Creek Athletics, make sure you check us out.
Not that there will be much news from Cherry Creek's varsity football this coming Friday.
Gonna have to get everyone involved. We get everyone involved as the snap goes over his head. It's still on the ground, and it is recovered by the Bruins. So the first play after the Bruins turnover, Overland turns it over themselves.
And the Overland snappers have really been just struggling tonight, and it's not worked out for them so far. I think that's going to be number 79, Liam First. I don't mean to pronounce his name long, but I struggle with that. And
don't we all?
That's been challenging for them all night. It's gotten them 2 turnovers on possession so far. It's just something you got to be correcting during practice.
And some of the center for Cherry Creek is, of course, CU commit Carson Lee. As he had a few high snaps in that first game, but he seemed to tone it down. He's pretty automatic at this point in the season. But yeah, we'll be going to CU under Coach Mel Tucker.
We're all very excited for that.
And the amount of Creek players at CU, quite impressive, and they have all been quite instrumental in CU's success this year. They got another game tomorrow, so look forward to seeing some more college Bruins all across college football.
Against the Wildcats, I believe.
That's correct. They will be playing the Arizona Wildcats. Big
At
game.
Boulder.
Big game for CU. As they try to go to 4-1, I believe.
Number 23, Deontay Jamison. Brings up 34 for the Bruins.
So the Creek section here absolutely packed.
It's hyped. It's a whiteout. You can see a lot of them wearing matching Go Bruins shirts. You like to see the unity there.
Yeah, did anyone hand those out pre-game?
You know, I might have seen a guy in a red striped shirt and a CU Buffs golf hat doing that pregame.
That would be Ben in the red striped shirt and the CU Buffs golf hat.
And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. We've been on air for almost an hour. That one took a little while.
It's an average of a point per minute.
My goodness. My goodness. Be a point every, well.
Wait, half a point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
1 point every 2
It's
minutes.
okay.
Yeah, that's on me. It's okay.
Math isn't the strong suit.
Feels like a point every 2 minutes. Sorry, it feels like a
It does
point
feel
every
like
minute.
that, yes. Now, is it possible to see a forfeit?
I don't think you want to see it get to that point.
No, and I don't think the Trailblazers are too worried here. It appears that Dave Logan has gone over to the Palms and is asking them if any of them would like to play.
This is what it's looking like.
I'm gonna lie, Dave Logan has he's tried to recruit female kickers in the past. But man, I think when I was young in elementary school, I'm probably in first grade, the Bruins did indeed have a female kicker. Couldn't tell you what her name was, but she was a dang good kicker. I can tell you that.
And Pomona, too, who we played 2 weeks ago, female kicker.
Actually, really?
Yeah.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, last time we were on the air, we were at Mullen. The next game was homecoming week, where the Bruins took on Pomona in a highly anticipated matchup. That was actually the first time that the Bruins were down all season. They got down 7-0 after Pomona scored the first touchdown of the game. They came all the way back. Miles Purchase, 2 touchdowns. You've heard all that before. So Bruins picked up that one. Next week they go to Chaparral last Thursday night.
And of course,
Big win there, 49-7. And here we are back on the Cherry Creek Sports Network on Friday nights.
Pomona is a very good team, shaping up 8th ranked against number 2 ranked Cherry Creek. Best team that they've played so far in the state of Colorado, but of course, Bruins also played Santa Margarita.
And the Bruins' next game is actually at Arapahoe. That is another Thursday night game. Next Thursday, I think that's the game before fall break, and it's not even the day before fall break. It's Thursday, so people should still be in town to watch that one. I think CCSN's planning to broadcast that game, but we'll keep you updated with that info. But next week at Arapahoe, who has gotten some votes to be in the top 10 but has not fallen in there quite yet.
Yeah, aside from our game against Arapahoe, we're very excited to play against Eagle Crest, Cherokee Trail, and Grandview, which we don't know exactly which ones we'll be broadcasting, but it'll be exciting.
I know that Grandview will be senior night, and those games against Eagle Crest and Cherokee, or Eagle Crest and Grandview rather, should be really good games as the Bruins will score yet another touchdown. That time it's Chase Penry. But yeah, really the top rankings, really all top 10 teams, really stacked ranking for the CHSAA ranking. As Columbine's just been dominating all year. They've scored 235 points compared to the Bruins' 225 entering this week. Valor Christian, of course, with the 1 loss to an out-of-state team, I believe, checks in at 3. And then Grandview and Eagle Crest, 4 and 7 respectively. You got some, including Creek, you got 3 Metro East teams in this ranking, and really they're always high on the RPI. Did Bruins not score there? I thought Penry had that one. My apologies. I'm sorry, that's my apologies.
And Grandview and Eagle Crest, I believe they played last night, and Eagle Crest was served their first loss of the season by a still undefeated Grandview, who we will be playing Week 10. That game is likely to be highly anticipated, especially since you mentioned it is senior night.
And that is also the game that decided the league last year. The Bruins were undefeated at that time at 9-0. The game goes to overtime at Legacy Stadium, and the Bruins, Jessica Fisher has another snap, goes over Thrower's head, and he tries to unleash at the back of the end zone. It's very interesting. Usually the quarterback just takes that one, but found a way to throw it away. So it's an incompletion rather than more points. We're going to touchback going the Cherry Creek way. But yeah, that Grandview game gave Creek its first loss of the season. Really, I think that's what set them up for such a good postseason run, was that first run. And something that Chance talked about on the Bruins Take podcast this week is if the Bruins could possibly get too confident. And I think that Grandview game last year with the loss in the last week of the regular season really maybe gave them a gut check and allowed them to go all the way to Mile High Stadium. It's 3rd and 11 for Overland, as he's going to escape the pocket, and he's tripped up before he can reach the line to gain, and it will be 4th down.
And a quick point of note, the clock here is, I have no idea what's happening.
It didn't move that play.
Yeah, it did not go that play.
Are we going to see Overland go for it here?
And now it's running.
Here's some flashbacks to the Mullen game, ladies and gentlemen, where clock said first quarter of the whole game, and it really just wasn't moving, so who knows?
Looks like they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, and this flash is
on their own 18-yard line. Oh, no, it looks like we're going to see a timeout from Overland. They're going to bring out the punt team.
Maybe just trying to draw Creek off sides there. So Miles Purchase. Oh, is it going to be Miles Purchase? Should be Miles Purchase back for the return, and
maybe we'll see.
You'd love to see him score. You'd love to see him score a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, really, he does it all the time.
And so OHS with no timeouts left.
And we have 10 minutes left in the first.
Second.
First half.
Quarter.
Half.
Quarter.
It's the second quarter.
Quarter, yeah.
Yeah, first half of the game, second
Whatever,
quarter.
just mention.
Oh, okay.
Number 24, Tomorrow running back to kick.
So we're going to see if maybe the clock can be a little bit more consistent here.
Looks to be around a 30-yard punt for Overland.
Fair catch called. And Holden at the 44.
That's not going to be Miles Purchase, number 3. Rather, it's number 9, Logan Gulick. So, special teams going into the depth chart here just to get some people who are deeper on the depth chart some additional reps.
You guys ready for Miles Purchase kickoff and punt return stats?
No, I'm not, but I would still love to hear them.
Absolutely.
So he has 6 kickoff returns for 292 yards. That is an average of 48.7 yards on the return. 94 is as long as that one was a touchdown. First play of the game against Santa Margarita. Now punt returns, 8 punt returns for 134 yards. His average 16.8 on the punts. That pass from Hammond just out in front.
Actually, good coverage there from Overland.
Yeah, absolutely. Lockdown coverage by number 5, Jaheim Roper. And Purchase is just, I mean, he has given Creek so much on these returns. He's allowed them to have much shorter drives, and he's someone who I think we're going to be seeing a lot of college offers going to him.
I believe he was, a lot of Creek D-backs were at, I think it was Wyoming last week. Yep.
Delonte Dickey and Miles, I believe, and Julian Hammond actually made the trip up there too.
Al Ashford was there.
I believe Miles Purchase was over at Air Force.
Yep, there's some guys at Air Force last weekend. It's recruiting season for all these boys. It's offer season.
Absolutely. Especially Arden Walker, the junior. Seems as if they're flooding in at this point.
And I know a lot of them, including Gus Alinkus, were at CSU, and some of them might have even been to CSU twice.
I believe Miles Purchase had field tickets. He was on the field.
Yeah.
James Walker, another person we could be seeing recruits from. Another junior. Recruiting season for him as well. And if there are any scouts watching on our broadcast, yes, absolutely. Recruit them.
And someone I saw on TV last weekend was Alex Padilla, the former Cherry Creek quarterback. He was not playing for Iowa, but he was standing on the sideline full pads with the biggest smile on his face. So he's just happy to soak it all in. That's Big Ten football, big-time football for Alex Padilla.
And everyone's excited for him, no doubt.
Just the handoff to the outside to Walker.
And so that is not going to get it done. That's going to put them up for 4th down. Are they going to punt here?
Oh, we might just see it. And who's going to be punting? Is it going to be?
I believe Chance Houseman's. Oh, no. Looks like Gunnar Helm is walking out there to punt.
It's Gunnar Helm. No, I did not see Gunnar take any punts before pregame. I saw backup punter Bowden Page have quite a few. I saw Chance Houseman have one, probably 50, 60, even 70 yards, depends who asks. And as he short legs that one a bit, it will take a bounce at the 10 and be down right inside the 5. So
Can we
great
see another
punt
safety here?
there from Helm. Now, let's take a flashback to the Mullen game once again. I think we could call this the not top play of the week. Gunnar gets the snap, drops the ball, whiffs on the kick, ball hits the ground. No one knows what happened. Jonathan Varghese, who's on the field for us, shows the video later on. The guy, he just drops the ball and missed it and got a whole lot of turf on the kick. So Gunnar trying to improve on his kicks 1 week at a time.
Might have to talk about that in the Bruins take here.
Yeah, it's not something you like to see. Oh, it was almost another safety.
Great pass, though.
Pass instead.
Thrower.
Spencer Boyd almost got to him. Instead,
For a 30-yard gain.
Instead, it is a pass to Roper.
Yeah, Jaheim Roper, somebody we've seen pretty much, he's dominated our coverage of Overland because he's one of their most athletic players, if not the most athletic.
So Overland gets the snap count, try to get the Bruins off sides. Another high snap there.
So they're going to hand off to number 25, Stephone Smiley. And yes, his last name is Smiley, which is a pretty cool last name in my opinion, but he is just not going to grab that ball with that kind of speed that you need off the handoff, and not going to get any yards, going to get -5 yards on that play.
So it's going to set up second and pretty long.
And on second and long, Overland pretty much passes all the time. So here's another one.
Oh, almost intercepted by the Bruins.
Looks like those Bruins maybe tripped each other up.
That was Mac Till on the coverage. Third and 15, 7:27 left here in the second. Deep pass, it is very high.
Ooh, and that was easily catchable there.
He almost came down with the grab.
Just an underthrown ball. That's it. It becomes difficult for number 1 on Overland, Jawan Lacour, to catch that when he's got two
he has
massive
no idea where the
defenders.
hit's coming from, right?
Right, absolutely. And
There's
you
risk
jump
in
up like
catching that ball.
Right, you jump up like that, completely vulnerable.
No, I'm not. Sorry. It's literally.
Looks like we're gonna get a too many men on the field penalty here.
Oh my goodness, he didn't call for the fair catch, but he was hit.
And it's gonna be
that's gonna be
looks like we're gonna have an offsetting penalty maybe here. But Creek had too many men on the field to begin the play, so we'll see if that goes into effect before the second call.
And if it is indeed a too many men on the field penalty, I think they'll just go ahead and punt again. Of course, I don't know how a personal foul will offset that.
So far the Bruins have gotten a safety, a 55-yard touchdown from Hammond to Stacks, a 4-yarder from Hammond to Penry. But yeah, that long touchdown pass, those penalties will offset. It will be first down, Cherry Creek. Right at the 50.
Yeah, I believe the penalties are going to offset each other.
And it will. And they're going to redo the kick.
Repunt from the same spot.
Another high one. Fair catch called this time. He was almost touched, and he comes down with the grab. So here comes the Cherry Creek offense.
So not a running clock here.
Still 3-0. It's been a little while since the last Cherry Creek scoring play. So the Bruins take over on the 36-7. And it's going to be a toss.
Ooh,
Horse brought down. Yeah, that looked really close to his neck. No flags called. As Walker got the pass there. Got 2 yards, maybe 3 to the 40 or 41. I'll tell you that Overland band does sound pretty good.
Absolutely, they got a lot of drums in their band. Sound very good. I don't see any brass playing at the moment.
Another walk, another handoff. Oh my, looked like he almost got carried. Stacks on the carry. Gets to the 50, should be another first down.
Looked like he crowd surfed there.
That was crazy.
So another short drive for Cherry Creek. Some 50 yards left here. I don't believe Overland's had to drive any shorter than 75 yards tonight.
I don't think so. So that pass across the middle cannot be hauled in, a little low, incomplete.
Overland's getting more into this game here. They didn't show up ready to play, but they seem ready to play now. They've had some much better pass coverage come second quarter. It's been a turnaround that's prevented the Bruins from scoring any points in the first half of the second quarter.
Cherry Creek Sports Network would also like to real quickly thank the Cherry Creek class of 1999, the first 175 students into tonight's game, because it was a away game. Supposedly had to pay admission before this afternoon, but thanks to the class of 1999, the first 175 students got to go in for free as Dante Orlando makes a move towards the far sideline, and he's in for the score.
Do not know how he got away from that one.
Broke some tackles, and it will be yet another Cherry Creek touchdown with 5:37 left in the half.
Those are the angles Dave Logan loves to see out of his students. Cherry Creek fan section going crazy.
Some shirts are flying off.
No paint on their chest, they're just shirtless, just for fun.
No Cherry Creek mascot tonight. Couldn't tell you why, but I think the man inside the mascot is still making an appearance on the sideline.
And Ben, just going back to what you said, we are very grateful for the Cherry Creek High School class of 1999, which donated the first 175 tickets to students tonight for free. And
you know what? That might be able to cover the whole student section, to be completely honest.
Yeah, you might be right.
Which is very nice, because if you didn't have an activities fee, the cost again of this game was even more.
Absolutely, very generous. And I can tell you that in my 8th period when they announced it, my math class went pretty wild. They were very excited about it, so again, very generous.
In fact, I got here an hour and a half early, so I didn't have to pay.
Chance thought that there's going to be a line down all the way down Yosemite. I don't think that was the case.
No, it actually seems like Cherry Creek has come out in more force than the Trailblazers.
Yeah, I was expecting a bigger game, and originally, all over social media, this was the battle for Stutler, and the Bruins are winning that battle 37-0. I think they'll be able to play their next home game here. As another kickoff in the end zone touchback. You'll love to see it. So another snap to thrower, as he'll pitch it behind him, and he's met. Oh, Cherry Creek couldn't wrap him up. Gets across the 35 until he's brought down.
It's going to be number 5, Jaheim Roper once again. Overland's most athletic player, offense and defense, wide receiver, running back, defensive back, linebacker, everything, just about.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of players on these teams play more than one position, so athletic.
Yeah, and we see a lot of freshmen on the Overland team as well.
As as that run, he's tripped down, and I'm going to say his knee was down way behind the line.
That's going to be number 25, Stephone Smiley once again.
Did Chance just leave to suit up?
Yep, he is getting hydrated before he goes onto the field to play.
And that Dante Orlando score we saw right around a minute ago on the clock. 50-yard score after a lot of broken tackles. So the Bruins have had 2 50-yard touchdowns tonight. Very impressive. This point in the game, they had around the same amount of points last week. As the Bruins trying to get close, collapse the pocket. Force thrower to scramble again, and I think he just gets past the original line of scrimmage. Oh, Chance is back. I guess he wasn't suiting up. So the Bruins are on defense with 3rd and 9.
We're going to see a pass here.
Yeah, 4 receivers out for Overland. 3 on the top, 1 on the bottom of your screen. Running back, 2 throwers left. Flag down, and I think it's going to be delay of game.
I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. That's
Delay of game, 5 yards back. It's going to be 3rd and 14.
And the thrower just sitting there, not calling anything, not reading the defense, just sitting there. Can't make those kind of mistakes. And I think at the end of this down, we're likely to see a turnover on downs.
And another tackle for the Bruins. It's going to be 4th and long again. Purchase isn't even back deep anymore. It is Logan Gulick. I don't know if we'll get the privilege of seeing a Purchase touchdown tonight.
So Overland's going to punt here. 4th and 17. Wise of them to punt. Creek still with its varsity in here, though. Still its starters.
It's currently 76 degrees outside, and after a rather cold day yesterday with some rain in the morning, it's a beautiful night here for football.
That's going to be a low punt.
Gulick just hasn't called for fair catch, and he's met by 2 Trailblazers at his own 35.
And how they got down the field so quickly, how the Creek special teams let them get down the field so quickly, I frankly don't know, but they did. So we're not exactly sure the rules on a running clock, but Cherry Creek's up 37-0.
We gotta be getting close.
Yeah, I think it's, we were discussing earlier, maybe the threshold is up by 40?
Something like that.
So 37, that's a high score. Of course, that score includes 5 touchdowns and a safety.
Remember the safety.
Bad look by Hammond there.
Chase Penry, the intended receiver there. So the snap now, and the run met at the line, so it will be a Bruins 3rd down. These are the conversions you love to have. And they haven't been phased all season. Usually they've gone for it on 4th down quite a lot. Bruins Take. And someone called timeout.
That's
And,
going to be the Bruins because they're the only one with timeouts left.
There we go. So by process of elimination, Cherry Creek calls timeout, and we'll be taking a break as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be announcing right now for your halftime entertainment, we will be showing you the Bruins Take podcast. Get excited. That will be your halftime entertainment in 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Bruins have 3rd and 10.
And so number 9 with the handoff there.
Oh, he gets through it across the 50, breaks. Oh, he's brought down hard at the 40. Another Bruins 3rd down, and another Bruins conversion.
And clock is going to stop temporarily there and then keep going.
As the chains reset.
Yeah, so certainly clock deja vu here.
Another pass from Hammond. Oh, another almost interception. Oh, he's knocked down. I'm telling you, that would have been roughing the passer in the NFL because he was remotely breathed on.
Yeah, well, you know that if you even look at the quarterback, it's roughing the passer these days, right?
Yeah, obviously. I think if you even say the letters Q and B in the same sentence, you have an issue.
Yeah. Automatic flag.
So, 2nd and 10 now for the Bruins on the 40 after that incomplete pass.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but the Bruins are here with another incredibly short drive, 40 yards left here. I mean, Overland's got to go 90. How are they supposed to score any points when Creek's only got to go 40?
As the Bruins are inside of 2 minutes.
Actually, talk now.
And another Bruins run there will be good for a 1st down.
Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Overland's band, am I right? Truly amazing.
I mean, I think really the best that the Bruins got is maybe a Sweet Caroline, but man, I'm liking this.
Should be a single back formation for the Bruins.
And as he comes across, he will get the handoff. Tripped him at the 5 and in for the score. So the Bruins enter the 40s.
Hold on.
Stacks will score yet another touchdown.
And
Looks
man, Stacks has got vision.
You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen, as the Bruins will be up 43, approaching 44-0 here.
And they're running the clock here, which I don't believe you're supposed to.
No, they finally reached the 40-point threshold.
Right, but I don't think you run the clock.
I think you run it no matter what.
Yeah, I think it runs throughout.
Yeah.
Oh. My apologies.
It's okay. You'll get it next time.
Thanks, Chance.
Absolutely.
Extra point, up and good.
And just a testament to his leg. That's going to be Ventura's worst kick yet, and that was pretty freaking flawless.
That was pretty straight down.
I wonder if we have 44 leg kicks coming here from the Palms.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will bring us to the end of the first half. So get ready to watch the first episode ever of Bruins Take coming up next on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. Gentlemen, welcome to Bruins Take, a new show here at the Cherry Creek Sports Network. I am your host, Benjamin Paris, and I am joined by Libby Schweitzer and Chad Salzman, our wonderful crew here today. Libby, of course, plays volleyball here at Cherry Creek, and Chad Salzman, basketball and lacrosse. Chad is a state champion, something that Libby does not have on her resume.
Unfortunately not.
So Bruins Take is a new show here at CCSN that features Cherry Creek sports news and culture, and you get the opportunity here from students, players, coaches, and all members of the Cherry Creek athletic community so that you can get an inside look of all things Cherry Creek athletics. We're going to kick it right off with Cherry Creek football. They're undefeated this season so far. They beat Chaparral 49-7 last week, and they have Overland, of course, Friday this week. It was 49-0 at half, and really just blowout from start to finish. Chad, your opinions on the game?
Honestly, I remember looking at it. I didn't personally go to the game, but I remember looking at my phone thinking that, oh, it was 49-0 and the game was over. But then I realized on Max Preps that it said it was only the first half. And that's honestly insane to put up that many points. That's almost like that's a little over 24 points a quarter, which is absolutely absurd. So for a high school football team to be putting up such high numbers is really impressive.
So some stats on the game. Creek had more touchdowns than Chaparral had first downs, and they scored on 45% of their first half plays. Just talk about the efficiency, Libby.
I mean, it's pretty crazy how well they were able to get touchdowns and connect with each other in that game. I wasn't there either, but it's pretty crazy. As Chan said, they over 24 points in one quarter. That's a lot, and that's really good for the football team.
So, Libby, you were not at that football game because you had a game of your own. The volleyball team played against Smoky Hill in a 3-0 win. Talk about the domination in that one.
You know, Smoky Hill has never been the most competitive team for volleyball, but I think we came off of 2 losses, Grandview and Eagle Crest, which are both very strong teams. So I think having the win against Smoky Hill, no matter just because that they weren't competitive doesn't mean like the win doesn't count. And I think having the win under us now will give us momentum. And we have a big game against CT tomorrow night. So I think having a win under us will give us momentum to go in and play CT and perform well.
So earlier in the week, after your loss to Eagle Crest, a game where you won the first set and then lost the next 3, it was your 4th loss of the year. How do you think that the volleyball team can really move from being a good team to really being a great team and contender when the state tournament comes around?
I think with each loss, we learn how to improve ourselves and how to work better together on the court. And I think that the loss versus Eagle Crest taught us a lot about how we can better ourselves. And I think with the knowledge we get from losses, that will help us carry on and be a better team in the future.
So, Chance, how do you think that a team like that, of course, you experienced this a lot in basketball last year, of course, in lacrosse, especially like in those games like Arapahoe, where how do you, as an athlete on these teams, overcome this adversity before the playoffs and just not let it affect you so you can make deep runs in the postseason?
I think it starts with the team and with practice. Like with lacrosse, our first 2 weeks before our state championship game, we really put it into overdrive and really went hard every single practice, and that just kind of boosted our confidence. Like as we said, after a couple losses right before the state tournament, that really helped us like to propel as not only as a team but like as people and like trusting each other, and that helped us really make our run through the playoffs.
So we're going to go back to football, just touch on it. Cherry Creek's point differential this year has been well over 100 points, outscoring their opponents. Do you think that another blowout win this week against Overland might just make the Bruins just a little bit too confident? Do you think that's possible?
You know, maybe a little bit too confident because, I mean, they haven't played any of the teams they haven't played Valor yet, which is normally their biggest opponent. And once they get to that point, then it's obviously going to be a lot harder game. As we've seen, they've been blowing out every single team that they've played. So, I mean, which is also bad for them in the stance that they haven't seen that much competition.
They haven't had a challenge yet, so they haven't been challenging themselves.
They're kind of just playing down to their. I mean, I wouldn't say playing down because they're blowing out the teams, but they're not playing to their full potential because they haven't played a team that can obviously compete with them.
So yeah, what do you think you're saying to, some of those other better teams when in most of your games, a lot of your JV players and backups are getting a lot of time, but often your starters aren't even playing full games.
I mean, that's good. I mean, that's good, obviously, for the future of the program, getting the younger kids or the JV players reps in the varsity lineups. But, I mean, the varsity players obviously have to get back into their groove and get back into the swing of things and kick it back in overdrive for when they get to the state playoffs and when they really have to turn it on and make that push for the state championship.
Anything to add?
I think Chance covered it. I think he did a good job.
So that confidence that they have, that they carry into each of these games, what do you think might happen if in that Doherty game when Pomona, when Pomona scores with their first possession after a Creek 3-and-out, they're down 7-0 in the first quarter. It's the first time that they've been down all season. If that, gets more severe and it even comes to a first loss, how do you think that will affect this team?
This team's honestly, they've got great chemistry. As you can kind of see throughout the season because they're all really, they work together and they all really enjoy each other's not only company, but they enjoy playing with each other, which is a great thing to see as a team. And they're really just, they're working together and they're fighting through deficits. So I believe if they receive that first loss, I think they'll be able to overcome it and just push to the next game and just keep flowing throughout the season.
So we're going to whip around to some other fall sports. We're going to start with field hockey. Chance, I know that you had a field hockey game when they played Kent Denver, which is usually one of Creek's biggest rivals in field hockey. What'd you see out of that team in that game?
I saw one goal, and that was by the Bruins. And after that, it was a lot of back and forth. But you could call it a good game, I guess. But the Bruins came out triumphant. But they still have a lot. They still have a long way to go in the season. They have to gain a little bit more chemistry in order to really make a strong push into the playoffs. And I think they just need to see more leadership through the team captains because they have a young team this year. Lost a lot of players last year. So, they just really need to come together as one and, push into the playoffs.
Boys soccer's got to be next. They are top 10 team in the state. They've won some really good games. They've lost some games where it seems like that they should have come out on top. Last week they got into double overtime in the game, ended a tie, which you absolutely hate to see. But when you get into those deep games, you're playing these long games and then you just end it in a tie. What do you think the mentality is?
I think it's got to be frustrating to end in a tie after working so hard. Like, I feel like every sport should have a winner. A game should have a winner and a loser, and I think a tie is just disappointing for both teams. I mean, obviously a tie, I guess, is better than a loss, but I think it's still frustrating and disappointing for the team that should have won, I guess.
Sounds good. I mean, that's probably what I've said.
And right, yeah, there's really just two ways. You either, think and get lost in, all the opportunities that you could add to win, or you just take it as a positive that you didn't lose.
Yeah.
And you just move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Boys tennis has been dominant all year. They won the Centennial League earlier on this week. They'll host senior night this week. But really just another dominant. They'll be hosting regionals here next week.
Don't they play tonight?
Yeah, their senior night's tonight.
Yeah.
Boys golf qualified for state as a team. 3 of those players for boys golf were freshmen, so really bright future for the boys golf program. And
you're a golfer, right, Ben?
that's right. I do play JV golf here under Coach Mark Goldsberry. And then the softball team, a team that always seems to, they got off to a pretty good start in a tournament play, but then they kind of just get lost. It's hard to grind out those games in a long season like that.
Yeah.
And so that's our rundown on the fall sports. But really, yeah, all this is going to come down to is another Friday night. So Cherry Creek has Overland this week. They will play, of course, at Stettler Bowl because both those teams have the same home stadium. Cherry Creek actually the away team. So both the student sections should come out in large support of their teams. How do you think that will affect that? Stettler Bowl, both sides are going to be very, very full this week.
I think
it's going to be funny because all the Cherry Creek kids that
I think it's going to be so weird.
And then it's going to be like half and half.
It's an away game, but it's at our home field. So it's weird. We have to go to the away side, the visitor side. I feel like a lot of kids are not going to know that and end up on the Overland side. I don't know, though.
I don't know how we're going to fit.
It's kind of weird.
If we have a good showing, like the last couple of games.
Yeah.
I don't see us fitting into the visitor side.
Yeah, definitely not.
So that will do it. That game will be live here on the Cherry Creek Sports Network on Friday night. So for the first episode of Bruins Take for Benjamin Paris, I'm for Libby Sleitzer and Chance Housen, I am Benjamin Paris. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Cherry Creek football on the Cherry Creek Sports Network is brought to you by Staffron Orthodontists. And by Drive Safe. Thank you to our sponsors supporting us all season long on the Cherry Creek Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about 40 seconds out of the beginning of the second half.
And now we're going to take a look at some first half plays, courtesy of Jonathan Varghese. So there's some Cherry Creek first half highlights, and we'll be right back with you soon on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. Benjamin Paris, Matthew Anderson, and Chance Hausman coming back at you for the second half of Cherry Creek football, where the Bruins lead 44-0 here at Stutler Bowl for a Cherry Creek away game. Boys, what do we see in the second half? What kind of personnel?
What kind of personnel? Well, that's a tricky question. Probably some JV. Probably maybe even some freshmen suiting varsity tonight.
You'd love to see it.
Maybe some Poms as well with this kind of a lead.
You know, I'm thinking fans.
Thinking fans? Any in particular, Chance?
First come, first serve is what it's going to look like here. Absolutely. Looks like the Bruins will receive for the second half. But not our normal return team back here. Looks like number 9, Logan Gulick, is back to return.
as opposed to Miles Purchase, who has been an animal, but they will not put him in at the moment.
And pads or jerseys are coming off. I see Carson Lee in particular. I think that the starters' night might just be over. Helmets are off of starters. Pads are off.
Pads are being unbuckled.
As
it's like a squib kick from Overland.
Squib is taken right around the 20. Some moves are trying to be made, and it's up to the 25.
And so Krieg is going to start 76 yards out of the end zone.
This might be the worst field position they've gotten all night.
Yeah, and that would be great field position for Overland so far. So
excellent for the Bruins. So it's not Julian Hammond, so I assume that we'll be saying Garrett
the punter.
Niehoff. And Garrett Niehoff it is. But who's next on the depth chart?
I believe after Garrett Niehoff is going to be Cooper Katsky, a sophomore and the JV quarterback.
After Cooper Katsky, I believe it will be Carson Lee in there at quarterback. The 320-pound offensive lineman.
Carson Lee did tell us in class this week he played quarterback up until 8th grade.
Impressive.
So Mike Carroll in the health department asked what would happen if you just got a bunch of linemen, just the entire personnel on the field.
Don't they make weight limits for positions? And when you get to the younger leagues?
I don't know. So he asked, what happens if everyone on the field is a lineman and they just give you the ball? You'd be unstoppable because they can't get past you guys. You're too big.
But if they can get enough onto them, if they can get 7 of the opposing team onto them, I'm pretty sure they're not running anywhere. And if they are, it's at a very, very slow pace.
So interesting question there to think about is could Carson Lee run it in for a touchdown?
I think equally as likely we see Alexi Sanchez Ventura, the kicker, go in for.
Yeah. There's a rumor started in math this week that Cooper Katsky just likes to dress up as a football player to get into the game for free and get a good view on the bench. But
I should try doing that. Sounds like a quality approach to getting a good seat at the game.
Yeah.
That or bringing a camera in and saying you're media.
Can't relate.
Or heck, I might be a manager next game. Just got to throw a Cherry Creek shirt on and ride on a John Deere. Seems pretty fun.
Are you going to bring your own John Deere?
Might bring my own go-kart. Do a couple laps while the game's going on.
Around the track?
Yeah, it might be scary for the cheerleaders in Palms, though, as I loop around.
Ooh, that's going to be Bubba Tan on the run there.
Is it 4th down? Oh, it is 4th down.
Bubba Tan, the only freshman on varsity. Good for him getting a rep in there.
4th down, 1st down, it's 4th down.
Is it 4th down or is it 1st down? Because the down marker says first.
I wonder if they moved the chains here.
But they didn't.
Miscommunication between the refs.
They definitely did not get the yards needed. Okay, they're going to correct the down marker there.
Yeah, they're moving them back here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Mark Goldsberry not moving the chains tonight. So
I mean, obviously we're not going to have an NFL level chain movers.
The closest you can get is Cherry Creek chains, Mark Goldsberry, but yeah, you're not going to get it. So we'll see what happens. But we're gonna punt here. I don't know who's back to punt because Bowden Page actually ended the half for the Bruins last time. I think it's Bowden again, and it is. The punt lands.
It's going to get a friendly Bruin bounce, but it's going to be taken early.
Dang.
Looks like that he was about to be smashed, but he's going to.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a legal hit.
Yeah, there's a flag inside the 50.
Oh, it looks like this is going to be brought back here after a costly hit by Overland.
And that's going to be Jawan Lacour.
That one's 100% coming back. As there's a big hit made at midfield. There's a flag down at the 47-yard line of Overland.
Really a shame for them because that was a great return by Lacour.
Shaking and baking.
One of the best athletes on this team, no doubt.
Just not up to Miles Purchase's level, though. The guy's elite. The guy is elite.
Define elite. Definition, please.
Scoring 2 touchdowns not on offense.
I don't believe that's a definition.
On a game. I think that is here.
Twice, actually, twice.
Twice.
Did the exact same thing, 2 games in a row.
I think that has to be pretty elite. And Chance will get us the Webster's Dictionary definition of elite.
We got first and 10 of the Blazers, 35-yard line.
So that comes back for the Overland there. That's a major blow, especially as I believe they're going to take a penalty on that as well.
Yeah, ball on their 35.
Elite, noun,
not to be
a
confused with the
select
verb.
group that is superior in terms of ability or qualities to the rest of a group or society.
I think we're looking for the adjective.
I think
elite.
no, hold up. I think that it is a very select group that scores a kick return in a pick six.
Yes,
twice.
a select group of one person.
I think a select group of people do that. So, Chance, can we argue that Miles Purchase fits into the definition of elite?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Now, how about for football? Yes. How about basketball? Your opinions? Chance plays basketball. For those of you at home that did not know.
You could say that I play, yeah. No, I believe Miles would also be elite in basketball. Believe it or not, his game in football and basketball are pretty similar, just with the whole bulldog mentality, playing with a chip on his shoulder at all times.
He was able to put the team on his back a few games last season where the Bruins were down by double digits.
Absolutely.
Just draining three-pointers all over the place.
But it helps to have, the work of senior Thomas Hawley and point guard senior Jonah Strain to help him out with those games.
Not to mention Sebastian Cole, TikTok star.
Yeah, him too.
The guy plays a little bit as that ball is launched and cannot be hauled in.
Could not haul in the classic backyard football catch.
And Miles Purchase, you say he plays basketball, yes?
That would be correct.
He's 5'11", yes?
That might be generous.
So an athlete who is able to get past these boundaries, certainly a testament to his bulldog mentality, as you said, Chance.
Chance, how tall are you?
7'6".
That's not accurate for those at
Absolutely not. I'm pretty close to 6'5".
Can you dunk?
Yes, I can.
Sebastian Cole can dunk.
He can. He's gotten a lot better since his Achilles injury or ankle injury.
Could Ochin Kim dunk?
Absolutely not. Ochin Kim can almost touch a rim, though.
Ochin Kim, former CCSN associate in his name here.
So, a turnover on downs there.
So it is 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Niehoff still in there, I assume.
And I do know I'm a broken record, but I mean, this is like the shortest drive ever.
Not except for when they started inside the 10.
Right.
After the fumble recovery.
Forgot about that one.
Pass to number 13, Garrett Niehoff. Incomplete. We've got 2nd and 10 for the Bruins.
2nd and 10 for the Bruins, and I think Cooper Katsky and Tyler Tolbert, as we alluded to earlier, are probably very anxious to get into this game after they did not check into the game last week at Chaparral.
That was really too bad as well. I believe Bruins last week up 49-0, running clock the entire second quarter. Creek offense was on the field for 16 of the 24 minutes.
Only 2 drives for the offense.
Right, 2 8-minute drives, and it really just did not work out for them. Score ended 49-7.
Number 35, Carlson Jones.
That's a
And even more importantly, this becomes a learning opportunity for Garrett Niehoff, who can be seen here on the sidelines working with head coach Dave Logan on the play call. This is arguably one reason why Cherry Creek is able to produce good quarterbacks year in, year out. Alex Padilla at Iowa now, it's because they get these quarterbacks reps in varsity football games when they're up so much.
Bruins always produce some good quarterbacks, and from what I'm hearing, there's some pretty good freshmen coming in next year.
Pass to number 13, Garrett Niehoff. Incomplete. Brings up 4th and 9 for the Bruins.
So as it brings up 4th down, the Bruins are going to punt. And the punter will station himself at the 47 of his own. He's moving back now, but let's see if he can pin him deep.
That is, wow, he is standing back deep for the snap of Brady Rads. And is that going to be Bowden Page? Oh, he's moving forward now. It's going to be 93 Bowden Page.
So you got the sophomore snapping to the other sophomore. He's going to take it out the 50. That one's very high and right. Take a bounce. And another one rolls out at the 15. So definitely some second stringers out there for the Bruins now. First and 10 inside of 2 minutes in the third, running clock as we mentioned earlier. Good tackle there. Defensive coordinator Doherty happy on the sideline.
Brings up 2nd and 7 for the Blazers.
So 1:20 left in the third quarter.
This quarter's gone by a lot quicker than any of the previous quarters, that's for sure.
Thank goodness.
That is approaching 9 o'clock in the Denver metro area. So they're going to try to throw it down again. And that pass left short, so it'll be 4th and 7. See if it's a 3 and out or if they go for it. So 17 on the play clock, 26 on the game clock. They're going to go for it on, oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was going to be 4th down. It's 3rd and 7. And it should be the last play of the quarter for Overland. He's going to look to his left, escape the pocket, find some space. Met by the Bruins and brought down right around the 25, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter here on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. So we're back with you now. It is fourth quarter action at Stutler Bowl. 12 minutes left on the clock. That will be running shortly, and it will be the final 12 minutes of the game. As a run finds a hole down the left side, and he's brought down. That's probably a 40-yard run.
Great run by him, and luckily for him, the first run that Overland's had over 40 yards where it hasn't been called back.
Hi, Cooper. So as Overland moves on to the 34-yard line.
Overland for the first time ever in scoring position this game.
He's going to let one go. And it is incomplete, as it looked like Overland might have been unable to put up their first touchdown of the game. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And this is definitely a more JV squad in here. Definitely less experienced squad than the typical varsity that we see in here, the typical draft recruit varsity. College recruit varsity that we're seeing. So we're going to expect a little bit less out of them. Still a fantastic team that can definitely hold their own against Overland, though.
So 2nd and 10, 10:30 left. As it's going to be an outside run. That's almost a gain of 7 or 8, and it will be 3rd and short.
Yep. 2 nice plays in a row by Overland number 25, Stephone Smiley. The second coolest last name on the Overland Trailblazers behind quarterback Mike Thrower.
Smiley's a pretty cool last name.
Yeah.
Golfer on the PGA Tour, the name Smiley Kaufman. You gotta love Smiley Kaufman. Always a smile on his face.
And more fun facts you can find out about on Bruins Take this coming Friday.
Stay tuned. As that snap goes over Thrower's head, he happened like it's nothing. He rolls out, and it's incomplete. But man, that guy, he's good at picking up those ground balls and rolling out.
So Overland's going to go for it here on 4th with 9 left in the quarter, and again, a running clock.
By the way, the next broadcast on the Cherry Creek Sports Network will be on Monday, a soccer game versus Eagle Crest. Chloe Park will have the call on that one. Good crew there. We got a good little soccer crew going, and they had a game against Mullen about a week and a half ago, and very exciting game there.
That's going to be a fumble, and it's going to be recovered by Creek.
No Tom Brady tuck there, ladies and gentlemen. Another Overland turnover. The Bruins get the ball back.
No Tom Brady tuck. That's correct.
1st and 10, Cherry Creek.
So the question now becomes, which quarterback is in? Is it going to be Cooper Katsky, number 18, or 13, number Garrett Niehoff?
It's Garrett. You know, I want to see Cooper so bad. I want to see what this guy's got, because really from JV football, you don't see a lot of highlights. You just hear a lot of stories. So see if they can put their money where their mouths are.
Yeah, we certainly got a great JV offense. So, you know, it's always exciting to see, you know, your fellow peers getting to show off what they do. And
that's really something I hear about CCSN. It's a student broadcasting program, and it's by students for the students, and it's always great to support our friends, especially our friends who are in CCSN, getting a chance to broadcast them, just like we'll be able to broadcast chants during basketball and lacrosse season. It's always very, very exciting to broadcast our friends and peers here at the Cherokee Sports Network.
Certainly one peer we're hoping to see tonight, Tyler Tolbert, number 34. Be on the lookout for him.
And last year on the Cherokee Sports Network, that was Jack Starr, who now attends University of Colorado. Does not play football there, but shout out to Jack Starr. He was one of our peers last year, got to broadcast. Someone else in the class of 2019 was Ochin Kim, who played basketball. Who else is in that class? Lots of lacrosse boys always are in the CCSN class. If you did not know, Matt Weiss is an assistant coach for the Bruins lacrosse team, state champions, defending, reigning, undisputed state champions. And a holding penalty will be called on the Bruins. The clock rolls on, and the window of opportunity to see those JV players is unfortunately getting smaller. Our opportunity to see Chance Hausman's getting smaller. Chance, do you think that you could, Well, I think it'd be the 7th game of the season. There'd be 3 games left in the regular season. Or there'd be 4 games, 7, 8, 9, 10. What are the odds you make an appearance this season?
Gosh, I would love to. Not going to lie to you. I would love to take that punter position, but...
What number would you be wearing?
What did Marquette King wear again? Was it number 1?
7, 9, something.
7 maybe?
Single digit.
I think 7's already taken, right?
All
Most
the single
likely.
digits are taken, yeah. Marquette King.
Maybe number 99.
So let's see if Chance Hauser makes an appearance. Eagerly awaiting, just like we're eagerly awaiting to see if Rob Gronkowski makes a return to the Patriots this season.
Just like I'm eagerly waiting to see if Creek will, in fact, win this game.
5:24 left.
44-0. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, if they get up by 50, then do you owe us Della Donuts chance?
Oh!
Absolutely.
We gotta discuss that. Hold up.
If they get up by 50, then they owe me donuts.
That is not how an over-under works.
Absolutely.
Niehoff rolls out, gets a gain of a couple, will be 3rd and long for the Bruins. 5 minutes left in the game.
Brings up 3rd and 15 for the Bruins.
I'm going to tell you, the Spirit Squad's Palm and Shearer still high energy here, and the can't really say the same for the student section if they have thinned out as this game has gone on. Flashbacks to when we played Overland for our homecoming game last year, when we were student sections on the other side of the field, but they very similarly thinned out. And after that final cheer for Palm and Cheers, I think that the rest of the student section, that front row, is gone. So that pretty much does it from them, which means that Cherry Creek has a victory. So 4th and long. I assume that Cherry Creek will punt, maybe get it back one more time, and we'll just have one more chance.
Yep, Bowden Page out to punt. Sorry. And the real question here, will number 34, CCSN affiliate Tyler Tolbert.
You want to see it so bad. Just so bad.
We all want to see it. We will petition.
Watch the side spin on that one. Takes a bounce and is down inside the 30. And what personnel is coming out here? Does not look like a 34 this time, unfortunately for the Bruins.
Again, great performance out of the Overland Marching Band.
And timeout is...
Quarterback change for Overland?
Ooh. Have they just resigned at this point? Want to get some reps into their backup?
I don't know what the stoppage in play was, but the play clock, I think, started early.
They have a wide receiver on the far side.
Yeah, new quarterback in for the Trailblazers. It's number 6. Who's that?
Six is going to be Devarian Wedgeworth Brown.
And he actually doesn't have any passing stats on Max Preps. So I think this might be his first appearance of the season. And fortunately, Overland's going to drop to 3-3 tonight. 0-1 in the Metro East Conference. Cherry Creek, this is their first conference game, so they'll be 1-0, obviously. And on out to another league championship.
Just can't get it done there. I mean, just watching that happen, you know, you see him field the pass, you see him turn up field, and then you see a defender running at him 2 times as fast, and he's just got the hit, and it's just it just doesn't work out like that. You got to be more physical. And we have number 34, Tyler Tolbert, coming into the game. CCSN affiliate. That's what we
nothing short of a pick 6 here from him.
If Tyler does not get his hands on the ball, we're going to have issues come Monday in class.
I'm expecting a strip sack.
He can't mess up here. I mean, there's people at home watching his long-awaited appearance in this game. Oh, is he getting in there for a tackle? I think we'll give him credit for like a 10th of the tackle there.
Yeah, I think he gets 0.1 tackles.
Clock rolls on inside a minute and a quarter.
It's certainly better than Chance, who still has 0 tackles.
All right, 34. Inside of a minute now, we're going to see the punt team. So it's going to be interesting. Who's going to take? Oh, who even knows? There probably won't be a final kneel. So this is probably the last play of the game. Yeah, 40-second play clock. So this is the last play of the game. Punt up.
Can Logan Gulick.
Fair catch called.
Fair catch. Yeah, that's
caught.
the end.
And that will be the end as the teams will come on to the field to shake hands.
It's going to be a 44-0 game right there. Creeks, I believe their first shutout?
I think they had Mullen was shut out, 35-0.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mullen was a shutout. So 2 shutouts for Creek so far. No wonder they're number 2 ranked.
So the Bruins pick up the 44-0 win here at Stutler Bowl. Next week on Thursday night before fall break, the Bruins have the Arapahoe Warriors at Littleton Stadium. So for Chance Hausman and Matthew Anderson, Bencher Paris signing off from Stutler Bowl. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week on CCSN.